Until the day I die, I will never understand how this wasn't the end of it. Stephen King doesn't know either, he even said it, me either. Preventing the next pandemic will cost $22.2 billion a year, scientists say. And if we want to compare that to something, that's 3% of the 2020 military budget. So 3% of the budget to prevent a pandemic, 3% to save lives, or put the, oh man, you can't ask the powers that be that. They're gonna get confused and scared. I accidentally submitted a paper worth 35% of my grade with this intro because I was tired and forgot to delete it. I'm gonna cry. Oh, I'm sure it can't be that bad, Soph. Let's see it. Orwell's 1984. Big Brother's manipulating you. What a lovely thing to write about. Buckle your seatbelts, motherfucker. Oh, great. Okay. Because in 8 short pages, I'm going to teach you something that I only learned 2 hours ago. So sit down, shut up, and enjoy the experience of my 4 a.m. caffeine-induced, self-hatred-filled writing extravaganza. Setting up some high expectations there, Soph. I better see a goddamn extravaganza then. Law enforcement source. 19 officers fired into UPS truck could exceed 200 rounds. Oh my God. Thank God the cops opened fire and killed the 2 suspects, the hostage and a random passerby, or the bad guys would have gotten away with some insured jewelry in their easily identifiable, super slow-moving UPS truck that was already being GPS tracked and had a helicopter following it. Thank goodness they dropped potentially over 200 rounds with 19 officers. Protect and serve. Women weren't allowed to open a bank account in the USA until 1974? Marriages used to last. Nah, bro, your grandma was chained by the ankle. So I had to Google this. In 1974, it was the Equal Credit Opportunity Act, and it gave every American woman, married or not, the right to open her own bank account or credit account. That's just the fact that in the 70s, just in like 2 years prior, 1972, a woman couldn't get a bank account or credit card on her own if she was unmarried. If she was married, she still couldn't get it on her own. Her husband had to qualify. Insane that was that early ago, right? Most of our major advancements progressively are not that long ago. It's bizarre to think about. This is the saddest I've ever read. No wonder Elon wants to get rid of the block function. Oh boy, it's a novel, let's go. Attending the Super Bowl as a guest of Rupert Murdoch. Already, wow. Musk had one of the most luxurious seats in the house. But rather than watching the game, he was glued to his phone in dismay. Oh no, why? Both he and President Biden had sent tweets cheering on the Philadelphia Eagles. But even though Biden had far fewer followers than Musk on the platform, the president's tweet garnered 29 million views to Musk's meager, pathetic 8.4 million views. The audacity. Livid, Musk demanded that his engineers find out why his tweet was underperforming Biden's. Imagine getting that email. Just 2 tweets. Why? Just why in all caps. He left the game early to fly back to a San Francisco office where dozens of employees were summoned to meet him on a Sunday night. Oh, and you're bringing them to work on the weekend. Eventually, to placate their boss, the engineers tweaked Twitter's algorithm to boost Musk's posts, pushing them into users' feeds whether they follow him or not. In effect, Musk's tweets would have higher priority over any other post, write Conger and Mack, technology reporters for the New York Times. As they put it toward the end of the book, a man allergic to criticism had bought himself the largest audience in the world and hoped for praise. No wonder he and Trump get along. I can't imagine being the Twitter employee, I guess the handful of employees that get the Slack message from Elon where he just sends a sad face with Biden and his tweets next to each other. Why? Well, great. Elon's upset again. We gotta give him something we gotta help him color. We gotta help Elon color today. Great. Eric Adams got free, quote, gifts of luxury commercial flights and fancy hotel stays, totaling in the 6 figures. And he just got indicted by the feds. Clarence Thomas got free, quote, gifts of private jet and yacht trips, totaling over $4 million. And nothing is happening to him. He's just aging. Time is making his connection to his mortal coil slip ever so further. But otherwise, nothing. In 2024, only 2 states voted unanimously. Let's compare. First, Oklahoma. 44th in education, 49th in healthcare, 44th in quality of life, 50th in test scores, and the top 10 worst poverty. Versus Massachusetts. First in education, second in healthcare, first in quality of life, first in test scores, top 10 least poverty. Maybe, you know, it doesn't matter who you vote for, man. You know, red versus blue, bro. They're going to keep fighting those gravel wars, dog. Doesn't matter which company you back. So this is meaningless to me, because that's what this is about, what TF2 company they support. An undocumented immigrant is not a criminal. Please note that this is an actual statement from Kamala. What do you guys say, Ron? Well, it's simply a correct statement of the law in the United States. It's not a criminal act to be an undocumented, it's not a crime, Elon. So yeah, that she said it, and that it's true. Dude, these like AI photos of Elon, oh my god, I've seen these, and they're just so annoying to look at. I vowed to destroy the woke mind virus. Why are you saying like he's a gladiator? And I will. Wow, man, you gonna do that by making your engineers see every tweet you post, even though people block you, and that's why we got rid of the block feature? Is that why? They realized that towing the giant Elon head in a Cybertruck was miserable, so they switched to a Toyota. I don't even need to make a joke here. Why did they have a giant Elon bust? What is going on? Why is he like a video game villain making statues of himself in his own honor? What's happening? They're already having issues. Speaking of Cybertrucks, the headlights are sunken in for some reason. This means there is a shelf to hold snow in front of the lights and block them. Now, every car has to have the snow cleared off the headlights before you drive. But this is way worse. That shelf collects snow as you drive. People have to pull over and clear the snow off mid-drive because suddenly they lose their headlight privileges. Was that by design, Elon? We are very grateful to the thousands of Americans who have expressed interest in helping us at DOGE, otherwise known as the Department of Government Efficiency. We don't need more part-time idea generators. We need super high IQ small government revolutionaries willing to work 80+ hours per week on unglamorous cost cutting. If that's you, DM this account with your CV. Elon and Vivek will review the top 1% of applicants. This account's been given a gray check mark verifying it as an official government account. It also only accepts resumes by DMs, which are solely open to verified ex-users who pay Elon Musk. The level of corruption is staggering. You gotta pay Elon to get even to be sniffed at for this bull job. Incredible stuff. I'm listening to Republican strategist Sarah Longwell on NPR talking about public opinion of Trump's tyrannical posture, and she just said, when I asked voters in focus groups if they think Donald Trump is an authoritarian, the #1 response by far is, what's an authoritarian? And you could see why that would be troublesome. Trump has now a lot of this is politics, man, and I know I just cut myself off. I don't think EmKay should be a politics-focused channel. I think we live in times where, politics need to be solved by a wrestling match. That's what I need to see. I need to see old-school wrestling promos done. I want to get behind a baby face and boo a heel. That's what I need to see. Because right now, we're just living in times where some 80-year-old dude's like, I don't like this, I want to burn it down and make a little thing for me to sit on. I sit on it and I make my decisions. I'm on my phone, tweeting away. That's what I like to do. And we have someone else going like, you're evil! And then he's like, I don't even know what that word means. Never heard it before. Not in my dictionary. That must be a Democrat China dictionary. I don't need that, man. I'm tired, boss. I hate it here. Trump has now reaffirmed his plan to eliminate the U.S. Department of Education. For the record, that department funds, among other things, all the special education and special needs programs in public schools and public colleges in all 50 states. So, we're making great investments in our future. Oh, horrible. Hate it here. Mark Cuban is proof that morons can become billionaires. That is so crazy, dude. I could have sworn this was an Elon tweet, but I think this is an account. This is a tweet from Pot, and it's calling the kettle black. That's insane. What's going on? An employee put in a PTO request. I denied it for the needs of the business. He went anyway. Came back to no job. So y'all can front if y'all want. For the needs of the business? You wouldn't let him take off because the business needed him, but you were comfortable with firing him, so yeah, no. Can't take any of that time off you need. We need you here. We're a family. But if you go anyway, we didn't need you that bad. Yeah, pack your shit and leave. We didn't need you that bad. We didn't want you anyway. Why is this business sounding like incel logic? In case you missed it, Trump showed up in hurricane-ravaged Asheville today. shutting down roads folks were using to get food, medicine, and water, and proceeded to stand in front of a completely destroyed property so he could receive a French fry pin. Yes, really. Just stand there, put this one right next to the flag pin. Look at that, I got 2 pins on my shirt, fry and the flag, and watch, they kissed. Little kiss between the fry and the flag. How beautiful, wow. Why was he there? For what? Yeah, man, that's a clown show. Thinking about how when Trump got shot, his supporters wore ear bandages to show their support for him. But when kids and teachers got shot at school, they wore AR-15 pins to show how much they support AR-15s. Ear bandages and gun pins. That's the party. It's the party of the GOP. Horrible. And he's just a row of people with ear bandages in solidarity. But then a group of kids, like a group of students get shot down, and they're like, someone's got to think about the guns. No, they at least think about them in a way of how to mitigate the damage, maybe. Finland ended homelessness. They provide a small apartment and counseling with no preconditions. 4 out of 5 make their way back into a stable life, and guess what? It was cheaper than allowing homelessness to continue. Let that sink in. They ended homelessness. They saw a problem that needed solving and just ended it. Yeah, but that's not as profitable for our capitalist overlords now, is it? I can't make $1 off of that. I'm bought and paid for. I can't make money off of that. I just think it's a clown world, dude. I think things need change. As a disabled veteran, I was separated from my wife and kids for years when serving my country and never complained once. I waited in line for 2.5 years for this operation at the VA. What a shame that people cross our border illegally and are treated better than our vets. What he was trying to say is, my imperial master sent me halfway around the world to get blown up, and then refused to fix my body afterward. For some reason, I'm mad at the immigrants now. That's their problem. That's their fault. How dare you make me go and do that? And now now I can't get fixed, and it's your fault. Yeah, the audacity. Q. What can we do about lowering the cost of daycare? From JD Vance. Maybe grandpa and grandma want to help a little bit more. Maybe there's an uncle or aunt who wants to help a little bit more. I don't know. I'm just saying it does take a village, right? So let's make it everyone else's problem. I think that's a perfect way we could do it. Rogan. Roe was the law of the land, and all of a sudden that had been taken away, and you have these men trying to dictate what women can and cannot do with their bodies. Vance, yeah, but you have women who go too far and try to celebrate it. Rogan, very few do that. I'm impressed by how small JD Vance's face is. I feel like it gets smaller every time I see him. Judge Facepalm's a perfect facepalm, a frame one facepalm. As Colorado County Clerk Tina Peters launches into hour-long speech on Trump when she's jailed for election tampering. Oh no, I can see why the facepalm was had. Elon Musk PAC fired and abandoned canvassers in Michigan who voiced concerns. Elon Musk paid black people to campaign for Trump in Michigan and then fired them and left them stranded in the streets when they complained about unsafe working conditions because they were being shipped around in the back of a U-Haul without seats or seatbelts. Which, I would argue is unsafe. I just saw a woman on TikTok who knows Nick Fuentes' mother say that due to the doxing, he's currently staying with his mother at her home. Got doxed for his hatred of women, and a woman is helping him through it. A woman is where he ran for safety. Oh, dude, this whole story is so fascinating. Nick Fuentes of Your Body, My Choice fame has been doxed and is now whining all over social media that he, quote, doesn't feel safe. Karma was petty fast on that one. His safety, our choice, forever. Nick thought it was real funny woman didn't feel safe. He thought it was hilarious. Yeah, I think he's arrested now, isn't he, for pepper spraying that one lady who went to his door? Ah, dude, it just keeps getting worse for that guy. Hold the on, I'm holding. Trump voters with pre-existing conditions are out there crying now because they just realized Obamacare is the Affordable Care Act. The Affordable Care Act they just voted to repeal because they were good thanks to Obamacare? You kidding me? I keep saying we live in clown world. I don't think we're kidding you though. We're gonna keep getting headlines like that too. Elon Musk makes $16 million an hour and pays less in taxes than you. Jeff Bezos makes $4.2 million an hour and pays less in taxes than you. Mark Zuckerberg makes $4 million an hour and pays less in taxes than you. You should be mad about this, not critical race theory. You know what I'm mad about? I'm mad that all 3 of these guys had lame-ass verses in epic rap battles. I think they should go for a round 2. Bad Bunny has endorsed Kamala Harris. He's not even American. Puerto Ricans are American citizens. My bad, I didn't want to be the one to tell you this, but
You should look it up.
The powers of the president will not be questioned, from a senior policy advisor. What does Theodore Roosevelt, actual president, say about this? To announce that there must be no criticism of the president, or that we are to stand by the president, right or wrong, is not only unpatriotic and servile, but is morally treasonable to the American public. Because he's a real ass OG. We love Theodore Roosevelt. What a gangster. Ben Shapiro.
No one in the United States should be retiring at 65 years old. Frankly, I think retirement itself is a stupid idea unless you have some sort of health problem.
Guy who talks into camera for a living doesn't understand why a construction worker, plumber, or nurse might want to retire at 65. This is being recorded way later from when this post was made. He also made a stupid post about the CEO thing that happened with the United Healthcare CEO getting murked in the cloak of night. And his comments were just reaming him, being like, no, Ben, actually, we don't like that guy. None of us are mourning here, Ben. So it's one of the first times I've ever seen people across all halls of political, walks of life agree on one thing, and CEOs are not happy about that, dog.
We will never rewrite the Constitution of the United States.
Marsha, if there wasn't a rewrite, you wouldn't be a senator and also couldn't vote. And I'd be enslaved. So there has and will continue to be rewrites of the Constitution. And that's to your benefit even, you're senator. Mark Zuckerberg's dad said he could go to Harvard or have a McDonald's franchise. Wow. What a crazy two choices. Oh, hard choice. He took a huge gamble by choosing neither, and now he's worth $100 billion. And the lesson here? Well, it's that taking big risks is easy when you have rich parents, because daddy'll save you. The people who threw rocks at Ruby Bridges for trying to go to school in 1960 are now upset that their grandchildren might learn about them throwing rocks at Ruby Bridges for trying to go to school. Time's a circle. Them, why would you want to homeschool your kids? Me, can you tell me why the Civil War started? Them, because of slavery? Me, incorrect. And that's why I want to teach them, so I know they're being taught the truth. What? From my research, the major point was slavery. The documents created by the secessionists were they wanted slaves. The question was whether the Southern planter class should have the right to own humans, and then every other point of contention was secondary to that main point. I don't even think they get out of the preamble in some cases before they explicitly state that. Hold on, I have a thing here. It says, from Georgia, the people of Georgia, having dissolved their political connection with the government of the United States of America, presented their Confederates in the world the causes which have led to the separation. For the last 10 years, we have had numerous and serious causes of complaint against our non-slave holding Confederate states with reference to the subject of African slavery. That's Georgia. In Texas, we have a quote, again, a protecting institution known as slavery. Virginia had a similar thing. It was nuanced for sure. There was economic, political, and moral differences, but it was centered around slavery. So I understand it anyway. What's this person talking about? Project 2025 staffer's viral video on abortion massively backfires. Trump's former director of White House personnel, is that White House or yeah, it's gotta be White House, right? Went to TikTok to mock Harris's debate answer on abortion and challenged a single woman to come forward with a story similar to the one she described. It blew up in his face because nearly 10,000 did, because it's a healthcare issue, pal. The lady in Texas charged with murder for an abortion actually had a stillbirth, wasn't even an abortion. The DA is now looking to dismiss the case. Texas arrested this woman, charged her with murder, and sent her to jail after she had a stillbirth, which the state didn't differentiate from abortion. Incredible stuff. Ambulance hits Oregon cyclist. They rush him to hospital inside the ambulance, then bill him $1,800 for using their service. Because, hey man, should have watched where I was going. School bullies, dude. Horrible. Horrible. Texas State University one day after the election. And here we go. Oh boy. Brace yourselves. It's gonna be gross. Homosexual sin. Women are property. Yeah, great. Glad to see that the freaks are out right after the election. This is literally unconstitutional. Oklahoma orders all public schools to teach the Bible effective immediately. Any teacher who refuses could lose their license. Oh, you mean church versus state doesn't matter anymore, Oklahoma? That's crazy. There are now 16 centibillionaires worth $100 billion or more. These individuals have grown $414 billion richer this year alone and are worth a collective, mind-boggling, earth-shattering, brain-meltingly $2.4 trillion. and that is spread out among 16 people. Once again, it's not radical to tax the rich. It's radical to allow this level of extreme wealth concentration to continue. 2.4, can you even comprehend $2.4 trillion? I can't wrap my mind around that number as a feasible concept. I can't think of 2.4 trillion of anything, and 16 people have all that. Donald Trump names wrestling billionaire Linda McMahon co-founder of, oh no, she's the Secretary of Education. Why we have a WWE Hall of Famer as president, and he's electing, we're gonna have, maybe I'll get my dream and that politics will be wrestling. Maybe we'll get that. Holy might happen. I just figured out why he's always doing this ass jump. He's trying to make an X because he thinks it's his brand or whatever. Pathetic moron. What's with this motherfucker's obsession with the letter X? He thinks it's the future. X is cool. I'm sure that's his thought process.